Margaret. I'm back to share some yarn projects that I finished this week and a little bit into last week too. But first we'll start off with a hat that I made for a lady that's just like my mom. She had asked me for a hat and she didn't have any color preference or any style preference. She just said surprise her. So this is the one I made. So I've already sent that off to her, and I told her to send me a picture of her in it, but I haven't seen that yet. And she also asked for some fingerless gloves. It was kind of funny. She says, you know, I don't know what they're called. They go up your arm and your fingers are free. And I said, yeah, I think I know what that is. I can find some. Now, well, wait a second. A while back, it was the first year I started doing YouTube videos, I made this Lion Brand pattern. It looks like this. And the actual pattern is a kid's glove. I find that the medium size, I had a small and a medium, and the medium fits me perfectly, and I don't think I have teeny tiny hands. So anyway, it was actually right here, if you can tell, the stitch is a little bit different. That's supposed to be striping. And the reason why is because it's done in the round until you get to the thumb. And then you go back and forth like that until you finish the thumb, and then you continue on in the round. So that's a logical place to put stripes, but I didn't want stripes at the time, so this is what I got. And on that video so long ago, I had only done one, and I don't know if I ever showed that I did complete the second one. So they fit well and they were easy to do, and I liked them a lot, so that was great. Problem is, I don't wear fingerless gloves a lot because the coldest part of my hand are the ends of my fingers. However, if I'm sitting still doing the computer, my hands do get cold, you know, holding the mouse and all that, so I will wear them inside. I don't necessarily wear them outside. So, because Carolyn had specifically told me she wanted her gloves to go up the arm, or at least that's the way she described them, I would just guess that she wanted them longer than these wristlets. I don't know. But I liked the pattern, and I looked at a whole bunch of different patterns. I even looked at some knitting patterns, and I decided to go back with this one. And I made the same exact pattern, but longer. I just elongated this portion right here. And this one, strangely enough, came out a little bit bigger than my original ones. So they're just a little roomier. So I guess my gauge has loosened up over the years. But there they are, and they match the hat that I made her. So the other day I get an email that says, never mind, don't do the fingerless gloves. I can just take some old gloves and cut the fingers out of them. So I'm going to send her these anyway, and she can decide if she likes to wear these or not. Can you hear the geese? We're getting them coming in from up north now. Okay, speaking of gloves, I have always wanted to make a pair of mittens, but I've never done that. So I looked and looked and looked to see. Now the reason, let me tell you why I'm so hesitant about making mittens and gloves and socks is because I think I would be a prime candidate for second sock syndrome or second mitten syndrome. Once you make it, I'm like, okay, I've been there, done that. I don't want to make the second one, which I did kind of feel when I was doing the blue gloves. So as far as mittens go, I have different priorities. First of all, they have to be shaped in a cute way. I want them to be rounded. I want them to look like the quintessential mitten in clip art. And secondly, I needed to be able to do them two at a time, so that ruled out crochet and put me into the knitting category. So, and a long time ago, I had asked for a good mitten pattern, and I do have some suggestions. I probably need to pull those out that are crochet, but I can't remember which video I asked on, so I'll have to do a search and see what I can come up with. But I made these. Okay, this was from Bev's Country Cottage. It's not the prettiest website you ever saw, but it's one of the earlier websites about knitting for charities. And she has lots of different patterns for baby hats, baby booties, baby whatever, and these are kids' mittens. Now you can see I didn't finish it just yet because I'm not quite sure if I feel confident enough to give this away. Now they're worked flat, so I got some 36-inch long cable, and what you do is you knit from 2 balls. So you knit one row and you just keep going over to the next mitten, and you pick up that new ball and you knit that row, and you turn it around and you follow the directions, and so you're actually completing both mittens at the same time. I have to thank Cheryl, whose YouTube user CamCab147, for this idea. I never would have known to do it. She was knitting socks in the same manner. But because they're worked flat, you have to seam them together. Now, I have watched videos on the mattress stitch and how to invisibly join and all that, and I thought I remembered how to do it. But I did not. I should have gone back and reviewed. Let me see. One of them I did a little better than the other. Okay, this is the really bad one. I don't know if you can see. First of all, when you used striped or variegated yarn, you're not going to have it line up. Okay, so that's something to consider. If I do this again, I'll do it in solids. And I think I know what I did wrong, but I need to go back and watch the videos. But I'm just not comfortable. I don't know if anybody, I don't know. Because they're kids' mittens and they're probably going to get lost, and you know how it is. I'm probably go ahead and donate them anyway, but I need to practice this for sure. Now I did better on this one. Can you see at the top? Alright, I'm looking in my tiny viewfinder and I don't know if you can see it or not, but the top part I did a really good job. It started getting worse down here, and especially bad at the ribbing. So I just need to do a little bit more research and practice. But it actually was pretty quick, and I do like the shape of the mittens. I mean, they're your quintessential shape, you know, nice and rounded. So I do like it. So I'll probably give this another go. But I have so many works on my to-do list, or hope to-do list, that I may not get to these as soon as I want. Now, speaking of to-do list, I have a new craft I'm going to try. And if you saw my video that I uploaded yesterday, it was about making Play-Doh. And the way that came about was that I was looking for a salt dough recipe that I could use to make ornaments, and I really didn't think that Play-Doh recipe, which is my favorite for kids, would be good because it contains oil. I'm not sure if that's the best one. So I'm going to investigate with some more recipes and see how that goes. But that reminded me of such a great activity, and you know, here we got the holidays coming up, and I thought maybe somebody might want to do this like I'm doing. I made a bunch of different colors for the little people that are coming to my house at Thanksgiving. So they'd have an activity. So anyway, the plan is to have these salt dough ornaments and tags, like gift tags on presents. So what I did was I invested in some acrylic stamps. What are these things called? Yeah, stamps. And here's the neat thing. All right, so you buy yourself a bunch of them. This is, you know, to do monograms, which I thought would be really pretty for like tags to, you know, put on a present. And I'll show you the others in a minute. But here's how it works. I got these. Let's see. This is called what? Clear Blocks by Inkadoo. Okay. And what they are these very tough acrylic blocks with a grid on them. You see the grid? You can see, there you can see it. Okay, they're in 2 sizes. So here's the bigger one, like this. So you peel off one of the acrylic stamps and you stick it on here, and then the grid helps you get everything straight. You can see through to what it is you're stamping so you can center it well and all that. So I got so excited. So you make your clay. My plan is to make the clay, you ink your stamp, you stick it on there, and then you have the indentation for the design. So we'll see. You can paint it and do all kinds. I don't know. This is new to me, and I'm going to be trying it out. So I showed you the alphabet. What did I do with the alphabet? Oh, it's right here. I got the pretty font. And then I got these Santa Claus ones, Christmas ones, that they say different things, like even the naughty deserves something nice, and comical little statements like that. Don't get your tinsel in a tangle. So these are just a bunch of funny little things. Sweet, but with lots of nuts. And then different ornaments. If you don't believe, you won't receive. Different things like that. So I thought that was cute. Well, you know what? I'll put a picture in there for you. And then I got this smaller alphabet, which is a different font and a little bit smaller, which I like. And I couldn't turn down a sheep. I love sheep. That's a mama sheep and a baby sheep. Or we could say a big brother sheep and a little brother sheep, or sister, or whatever. But I thought that was really cute. Well, anyway. So that's my project for that. Then, since I was making those for gift tags, I'm not exactly sure why I bought this now, but it's a stamp, not a stamp, a paper cutter, craft punch, that looks like, a tag. Now, once upon a time, I actually did a lot more crafts, but with my kids. And I was telling Erin about this when we were visiting, and so I came to the conclusion that I'm much more crafty than I think I am. We made our gift tags every year. That was our thing. Most of the time we wrapped in brown craft paper, which really wasn't even craft paper, but brown paper bags from the grocery store. And at that time, the grocery stores have pretty much switched over to plastic, so you had to specifically ask for paper. Well, now with the green stuff going on, you get a lot more paper, at least we do. So we don't have that problem. And if you look on Pinterest, there's tons of precious brown craft papers ideas for wrapping. So we may go back to that. I don't know. Thomas is not crafty when it comes to paper and paint and things like that. So he's not interested in doing that. Never was. So this was back when my big kids were little. They both liked that, and the neighbor children. I guess I just kind of want to go back to doing that. I just have an itch now to get crafty. Or geese. Sometimes one of my favorite things in the world is to watch them come in for a landing on the lake. And I'm going to get that on video one time, just because I love it so much. Off the subject. Okay, back to crochet. Sister Margaret Mary, a friend that I met through YouTube, is doing a fundraiser this coming Sunday, and I dropped the ball and didn't send her my stuff when I meant to. So today I packaged it all up and I rushed to the post office. It's Veterans Day. The post office is closed. So I'll try to get that to her, 2-day shipping, I guess, so she can put it in the craft fair. It was a series of character hats that I chose to send her, because I figured out of the things that I do, that would probably be the most likely to sell. And she does kind of keep things. When she has leftover items, she keeps things, and then next time she has another sale for the fundraiser, she puts those things out again. So again, if anybody is looking for a place to help out, her music program is excellent, so that would be a good thing. And so here's the things that I chose to send her. If you're new to my channel, then you may not know that I have a couple of tutorials out there for Christmas scarves if you're in the market now that the season is approaching. There is a Santa scarf and a snowman scarf and a nutcracker scarf. I'll put links to the my blog where I keep the notes, which will also have the link to the video on there if you want it. But strangely, I have on there that they're good for any yarn mediums. That means you can crochet them, knit them. I happen to have done them on the Addy. All three of those were done on the small Addy Express. And I give you the measurements. So if you want to crochet it, you can say, oh, okay, well, I see she's done that, however many inches wide it was and 6 feet long, and, the color blocks on it. I tell you about how I measure that and show you what it is so that you could recreate this either with hand knitting needles or crochet or loom knit or whatever you want to do. And crazily enough, after I measured all that and I wrote it all out, I still get people commenting saying, well, where's the pattern for loom knitting, or where's the pattern for that? I only did it on the AliExpress, so I didn't actually do that, but I provide you the information so that you can do it any method you want. So that's what that's all about. So if you're feeling Christmassy and want to make some Christmas scarves, character scarves is basically what they are, then check the links in the description box below. So that looks like everything for this week, and I will check in with you next Tuesday, if not before, as I experiment with this salt dough project that I've got going on. I'm hosting Thanksgiving at my house, so we're at 23 people at current count. So I'm doing a lot of, cleaning and getting ready, stuff like that you have to do ahead of time. So my yarn time may have to take a back seat, but I can't put it down entirely. So I'm sure I'll have at least one thing to show you next week. Talk soon. Bye. Like my shirt? That's what I bought in Vermont at the, what's it called? Six Loose Ladies. So you get it wooled fleece, world peace.